Okay, so we have a little bit of a treat for you. We have a guy here to my left. It's probably to your
Right, yeah.
to your right. Probably to the stream. Could be either left or right. I'm not sure, but depends which way they're watching.
Preference.
Or if they're standing on the head or something like that. So we've got a great pinball enthusiast here, all the way from Norway. I'll let him introduce himself, and I know you've already got hi Morten. No doubt at all that this guy is very well known in the pinball scene. So just tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
See where you go.
Yeah, so I'm from Norway, Oslo, and I'm kind of online. I'm going by the Morten nickname.
Drain Morten is a really great name. I mean, that is like...
Maybe it's not the most positive name for playing pinball, but
Indeed.
It's what happens, everybody drains all the time. So I'm really happy to be here, and it's so cool to be able, allowed to be back here. And
we've been talking all weekend on and off because we share a lot of common interests. We're obviously pinball enthusiasts, obsessed, somebody may say. But we also share a lot of other things. Morten's started doing a stream. I say it's called Drain Morten, and it's a sort of off the wall chat channel. Yeah, it sort of takes a nice different view, a different perspective over the world of pinball. So just tell us a little bit about it. How did you come up with the idea of doing that, and where did that come from? So.
Of course, yeah. The idea actually came back. It appeared to me back in 2016, because the pinball, the competitive pinball scene in Norway was really growing at the time.
Yep.
And I was like, it would be cool to follow the rankings monthly. And there's, the large tournaments and small tournaments, and keeping up to date to what is happening. And it was, I missed the kind of way of tracking the history of pinball in Norway.
Yeah.
And then suddenly life happened and other stuff happened. But when it goes a year after that, how much fun it would be to actually have a monthly episode for that year.
Yeah.
So finally I just hey, let's just do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. And
And I talked to you yesterday about this, that the difficulty with streaming of any kind, difficulty of broadcasting, being in front of cameras, is fear of getting things wrong.
Yeah,
and the particular thing with the work that Morten's doing is it's very, very easy to re-record and over re-record, and then you actually begin to lose the meaning of what you're saying because you're trying so hard to make it perfect. And you said to me, you normally go with pretty much first take, or second take maybe, but never ever over the top in terms of that.
No, it's not much. If that's the question.
Yeah.
It's not much over recording. I tend to talk, kind of rehearse what I'm saying in the car often.
Okay.
Just like, okay, I'm driving someplace, I'm planning my episode, planning the themes, I know what I'm going to talk about, and talking about it very naturally. And then I come home and I put on the cameras, and suddenly it's like, oh my God, the world is watching, even though they're not. It's
right,
just in the future.
You just think they're going to be.
Yeah. So, but I try to just talk about stuff naturally.
Yeah.
And if I get something wrong, I will just pause for a couple of seconds and then say it again. And
you come across really well. Your command of English is obviously excellent. I mean, there's and I think it's an important thing as well that you do use international language, because there's a lot of home streamers doing things in their own native language, and then you really, really limit the audience then. So you're known throughout the pinball world. It's great. It's actually great to see you do. So
I've been watching or noticing. It's a French channel, French French Twitch channel called, what's it called? RB Flipping.
RB Flip, yeah.
Yeah. And they have very interesting streams from like games I would like to know more about. But it's in French, and I mean, it's a great thing that they actually embrace the French pinball populations.
Of course, yeah.
But I would really like to know what they're saying. I hope that comes across kind of correctly.
I'll be Flip. If you're listening, no problem. Just give us some subtitles, and then we'll be absolutely
okay.
I mean, subtitles are actually quite easy to do now. Technology's there to auto subtitle what you say. It's hilarious. Sometimes you get you get some great.
That's true.
But you can probably actually follow the flow of a conversation if you get 80% of the translation actually correct. So, okay. So the other thing I know that you're doing is a homebrew pinball. You had it on your last Drain Morten show.
True.
And development of a home pinball is a lot of work, and I mean Jack Danger's doing one on Dead Flip, and you see the progress there. Obviously I saw your last episode, and you get you're trying all the different shots out, and you're trying the playfield. So where did that idea come from? What was the idea of creating a home pinball like this? Yeah.
Well, kind of started back in 2016. There's a game series, a computer game series, which is called Mass Effect.
Okay.
Which I really love. It's an amazing sci-fi series.
Yeah.
It was like, this could translate into pinball so well, with all the missions and the epicness and the story.
Okay. So you've already got a theme for the pinball.
Well, yeah. And then I started. I got a whitewood cut.
Yep.
Like a plywood piece.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Starting buying some parts, but I really got quickly discouraged by the the T-nuts.
Yeah.
Like you have to hammer them in, and
things inserts. Yeah.
Really met the wall very quickly. And then life also happened. There was a lot of stuff happening in my private life, my wife and everything. So so I had to put it aside. And then last year, I was talking to some friends of mine from high school, which we have been playing Age of Empires 2 since high school.
Okay, yeah.
And then we're talking about, Age of Empires, that's such a cool game, And I was like, I guess it could have been transferred into a pinball. And then suddenly,
okay.
I got all these ideas in my head, how I can implement those in a pinball machine.
Yeah. The machine, I mean, the design is quite sophisticated, isn't it? It's not the shots you've got on it are very interesting shots, if you like. It's not a standard layout of 2 ramps, 2 orbits, and 3 pop bumpers. It's
not a purely standard game. Of course, my goal is kind of to reuse what I like in pinball games, the mechs and what I prefer playing.
Yep.
And I thought, the target bank from Attack from Mars.
Yep.
It's a classic. It's used in Tron. It's used in Avatar.
Yeah.
But it's really effectful.
It is. Yeah.
It's
dangerous to hit.
Yeah.
Once you've got it down, it's got something behind it to get there.
And it opens shots. And then it's like the left, what's it called, the sea lane from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
Yeah. Where you get a super skill shot if you're lucky. But also it's I've been really inspired by Scott Denisi and his use of one pop-up. It's used on TNA.
Yeah.
It's used on Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be cool to have one pop-up. And it will send the ball flying all over the place.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
So I'm trying to reuse, known elements.
Yeah.
But in a bit different configuration.
Are you an engineer by background? Have you got the knowledge of the electronic controls, software, that sort of thing?
Not really. I'm a computer engineer.
Okay.
But it's more of a programmer side of things. So
But it's interesting. I mean, there's a very, very say a strong connection. My background is engineering, and electronic engineering is what I did at university. a long, long time ago when universities, were sort of old fabric buildings and, people. So that's back in the 17th century when, universities were proper universities. But no, my electronics background has helped me know in terms of repair and maintenance and things of pinball machines. And you sort of connect the two together. So you've got a love for pinball, you've got electronics. I tend to overcomplicate a problem. So I'll be trying to redesign the software on something because a rollover's not working, as opposed to fixing the rollover. So
it's like a problem.
But that's sort of an engineer's view. Okay, so what's your next project? Where are you going to take the Drain Morten theme next? What's the
from now?
Yeah.
Well, apparently the last episode
beer. You've got to do beer.
Yeah, apparently I was.
Of course.
Last episode I was going to have a beer tasting, but with my friend and guest I was talking to, Morten.
Yep.
He was kind of on his way from my tournament and over up to Trondheim, traveling. So I couldn't really offer him a beer because in Norway, driving under influence is kind of bad. So
very bad. Yeah.
And I actually got several comments on that, like, Morten, where's the beer tasting? Because I've been kind of promoting it, And it's pinball, it's beer tasting. It's kind of like a chill talk about that.
And it connects, the beer connects to pinball, like engineering connects to pinball, like like designing a pinball machine connects to pinball. They all sort of link together. So I'm looking forward to your beer tasting.
Yeah, thank you.
The only thing, because you're in Norway, is you probably need to take out a second mortgage just to buy the beer.
Well, it's very expensive.
The Scandinavian countries are like ridiculously expensive, and it's also almost impossible to buy alcohol in Scandinavia unless you go to a special authorized liquor shop
dealer.
And you have to know the opening time. So the first time I went to Scandinavia was to Sweden, and it was actually on Easter weekend. So we arrived on Easter Friday and everything was shut. We didn't know about the special shops that you could buy things on Saturday morning, so we didn't go. And then, of course, the shops are shut all day Sunday and all day Monday because it's Easter. so the only drinks we could get were in the hotel bar. So and Norway, Sweden and Norway are expensive anyway. But to drink in the hotel bar is even more expensive.
Yeah, it's kind of like the elite level.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I remember I also went to it was supposed to be a horse racing day, and it turned out to be actually it was a building, but it was computer horse racing. So
in Sweden.
In Sweden.
Okay. Yeah.
We were in Malmo, just the other side of the Malmo Bridge. And it was like really weird. It was advertised as the horse racing. We thought there might be some drinks there. And we went. It's like a computer model of a race. You could bet on the horses for a very strange.
In a way, it's a bit sad,
It is, like, we thought it was a bit sad.
It's been like actually the horses riding.
Yeah. So no horses, just little computer model going. That was great. Look, Scandinavia, you're doing a tremendous amount in pinball. You had the EPC in Copenhagen. You had the EPC in Tampa in Finland.
And in Graz also?
Yeah. And the organisation is always great. I mean, the Tampa tournament was the one where I couldn't believe how well that whole streaming setup had been put together. Ink and Moss were involved. Ink and Moss was awesome. Really loved their streams. Also, my equipment is based on similar technology to that I use, so we've talked together about that. It also links in a guy in the UK as well, that sort of three of us together.
What wasn't it? Tampa?
Yep.
But that was at the EPC, and actually Norway is the only country which hasn't hosted the EPC.
Maybe next.
So we need to do something about that.
Absolutely, because you've got the Pin Lab. It's Pin Lab, isn't it? Is it called the Pin Lab in Copenhagen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pin Lab.
And
great place.
so it's I think Norway has to. We have to.
That's Denmark.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy from Denmark called Ed. Ed
Oh yeah.
He's
guy.
A real great guy. Yeah. He comes on. He's called the Real Ed on his Twitch name, and he comes on here regularly. And I always say he's from a different Scandinavian country. So he's been from Finland, he's been from Sweden, he's been from Denmark.
Really?
And he's a big guy. I mean, he's not a small guy.
Oh, he's a great player too. Oh my God!
He's an amazing player. I mean, Peter Anderson, of course, has just taken IFBA #1 spot, which is, again, congratulations, Peter. I'm going to tell him that in Fulda. He's coming to Fulda in October. Really great to see. Eddie's not far behind him. You know, I mean, he's right on his tail in terms of performance.
To say, I'm really impressed by Ed's rise in like, I don't think it's not that many years ago he started playing, and the way he just rose up to the top. He's so skilled. It's
he's a gamer. You know, and you see quite a few people. Roberto Pegrone is another one.
Yeah,
from Italy. His background is gaming and arcade games and all that sort of thing. And then it's obviously a similar skill set with playing pinball. And Ed and Roberto actually play sort of similar sorts of games. Very, very controlled, very calculated, and very, very effective. So,
absolutely.
So it's a great little world, isn't it? We really, really love it. So.
I wonder, are we both like advancing now? Because I think there's a new round where both of us are playing.
No, not yet. So. Oh dear, right. Okay.
And then the side.
And then back to the side.
Right, it's okay.
Right, so...
Thanks for the information.
Dina's amazing. She keeps in contact with absolutely everybody. So the side tournament is going to pause. The main tournament is coming back in for the last 8 players in the main tournament. So that's really great because I don't know if I was on a roll. Okay, so in the first round of the side tournament, I scored 7-7, so I came first in both games. The next one I got 7-3, qualified quite easily.
Enough to advance.
And no, I joined first. So there's 2 of us on 10 and 2 on 6. So that's why I advanced. And the next round, thought, that's going to be nice again. It's now they're going to pause the tournament. So
I was like,
when they bring the tournament back, we'll have absolutely no idea what we're playing. So.
But I would like to ask you. I've been at this tournament since 2016.
Okay.
Like 16, 17, 18, 19, and COVID, and now. For me and my friend Tom and other players from Norway, it's been a very special tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's so cool to finally have a streaming streaming system, a streaming crew here.
Yeah. It's nice.
Show more cool. Like, you should come here. This is a really good tournament. Can I swear in this?
Better if you don't. No, swearing's not really that good. So.
No, okay. It's a friggin' cool tournament.
Friggin' cool tournament.
So it's really cool that you're here and
thank you.
Filming this stuff.
I know.
But what's your impression this far of the tournament? Because you've been at a lot of tournaments.
Yeah. Let me just say hello. This is my daughter, Kate Rothwell Jackson, who was on.
Hello.
Yeah. So you've met Kate before?
No, but I had the Game of Thrones machine.
Okay, so you're in your house. Okay. Hi Kate, loving the interview and chat. Yes, I know. It's something I started doing this before COVID, and obviously when COVID came down, when we could do tournaments, I used to shut myself in a little commentary booth, put a sign on the door saying Jim and Dina only. So to be able to do this tournament is 3G, so it's based on vaccination or testing or having had COVID in the last 6 months. So everybody in here is COVID safe. We're not wearing masks, that's unusual.
Yeah.
And it's actually really quite nice. And me and Dina are doing tests every 2 days anyway, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
So, hi Kate, good to have you on. I know you like this, and we have talked about doing this many, many times. It's great to get people
who are so passionate, so interested and so passionate. It's a lot of passion here. In general, it's. I mean, I think people in pinball don't do this for any other interest than passion.
Yeah. Was it you that was asking me if we got paid for doing this?
Yeah. Like, is this work for you?
Yeah. So we don't get paid. We sometimes venues will pay us something towards expenses that we have, but we normally we spend a fortune on coming to stream an event. So we do it out of love and passion. I do think there is an element of it's actually nice if a venue pays something towards helping us, because then it means that they value what we do. Whereas if everything is just free, it like doesn't have a value. So
I don't care. Like, it's take it or give it.
Take it. So but we're here. We're here because we volunteered. We came out of lockdown. A few tournaments started coming on the horizon. We wanted to get the equipment back out. We're still having a few technical difficulties with it. This computer's getting replaced in next week for a new shiny one. So I'm hoping a lot of these technical things disappear, but who knows? It's just you actually continue to develop and you evolve. You go to the next stage, and you see people like Carl D'Angelo. You must watch his streams. You know, Carl is streaming from home. On his challenge games in 4K. Now you can do that at home because you can get your cameras really close to your computer. You couldn't do it in a tournament, and I don't think Carl will be yet. But I'll guarantee, give him another year's time, and it'll be setting the bar even higher and saying, okay, let's have 4K Wi-Fi. So
Carl always have my respect for actually doing the Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah, how was that? That was awesome. Yeah, when he wore the hat.
Yes, I own a Big Buck Hunter myself.
Yeah, okay.
But I haven't even thought about actually wanting to go to the Wizard.
Go to the Wizard mode. I know.
It's really a tournament game.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
But going to the Wizard mode, that's for special.
The machines like that are really good to stream. I mean. I don't complain, but I think we get a lot of tournaments which are always stern, and you know, you see them being played. We haven't got enough tournaments at the moment, so we can't really complain about it. But if you go back to the one I recall is Black Knight Sword of Rage, it was like in every tournament final. In the world, you know, it seemed to be. It was like
or just in
no. It was always chosen as a final machine, and so it was like you saw it being streamed too much. Yeah? And I love to do the old machines. I love to do the things like Big Buck Hunter. Would be a great machine to stream because there are so many things that are nice about it. The call outs, the animal noises, you know, all that sort of thing. Makes it really interesting. So.
Another game since I'm on here, since I'm on on the net, I would say, speaking of speaking of games which are underrated, Street Fighter 2 is actually a very good tournament game, and people just throw it away because it's Gottlieb, you know, and
we can't play Gottlieb,
and but I don't know,
I'll tell you a story about Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
We went, me and Dina went to Tenerife for the first time into Costa del, the sort of English part of Tenerife. And we stayed in a hotel there, and in a little, like a cupboard room with I think a table and chair and a space and a pinball machine. And it was Street Fighter 2. And I didn't know Street Fighter 2, so I went on the internet database and all the rest of it. Read all
the rules, and
it's not very complicated. And it's got huge, great sum poles left and right that you play. It's like I mean that is so typical Goethe.
Yeah. Very typical.
and we've got our club Free Play in Hurton. We've actually got a few Goethe now. Cactus Jacks I streamed in a final.
Never played that
a few months ago, and it's about it's about throwing fruit at a band. Okay, so you advance the fruit, and the first fruit is an egg. Now, how can a fruit be an egg? Yeah? So you start off throwing eggs, and then you advance to a tomato. No, a banana, sorry. Then to a tomato, and then eventually to a watermelon.
That's the theme?
That's the theme.
Basically.
And the band is on the back, just below the back glass at the bottom, and they're dancing about like this. They're like cactuses. And you're throwing these watermelons at them. It's like,
that's hard.
Who the hell came up?
I'm in a band. I mean, I can feel that.
So, you were saying about a theme for your homebrew pinball.
Yeah.
With a band in, is it Sweden? A heavy metal band, you're thinking of linking that to?
I know Sabaton is a Swedish heavy metal band, and...
Have you heard of Sabaton, Dina? Sabaton, a Swedish heavy metal band. Oh, okay.
Oh.
She only does progressive rock. 1970.
That's also a fucking great book. So,
yeah.
Sorry,
no problem.
Anyways, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Matt. I think we need to wrap up here, Morten. We need to get back to the tournament. So, look, thank you very, very much for coming on here.
Thank you for having me here.
Great company. I said this earlier on the stream to people. We've got a chance to know each other a lot better this weekend.
Yeah,
I really, really appreciate it. So, you'll be coming on here again, and I'll be watching your drain chat. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll both play onwards soon, so yeah.
Okay,
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Right, okay, so...